Today we're focusing on goals, but not just our goals for business. We're going to look at it from a big picture using my North Star system down to a very simple way to map them out. And you guys are celebrating with me. It's my birthday today, and I'm very excited to bring this information to you because it's what gets me out of this rut that I go through sometimes. And maybe you feel me that we tend to look at or to focus on things that are negative, the things that I haven't accomplished, the things that I don't have yet. And as I get older, as we're all getting older, I have these mile markers of like where I should be by now and why am I not there fast enough? And then I look back and have to remind myself of all the things that I'm grateful for. So for you guys who are listening, who are watching this, like I'm so grateful for my family, for my daughter. I'm so grateful for the knowledge that I have for my community. So if you're here, I'm grateful for you today and that you get to celebrate my birthday with me. So it's also the summer solstice, right? So June 20th is a very beautiful day here in the Northern Hemisphere. And it's where we get to celebrate new rituals. We get to plant seeds for what we want the second half of the year to look like. So the solstice really brings along that essence of inner light. And this light is what is going to keep us shining in all our dark moments, whether they're self-imposed dark moments like I did to myself this morning, like, wah, 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 why me? Or the dark moments that sometimes happen, if someone's ill or if you're going through a rough time, that inner light is your reminder that you have so much potential and so much possibility. But what happens with this is that we get sometimes like shiny, shiny squirrel syndrome. At least I do, because my number one strength is being a creative, and creatives, we just want to create all day long. Like if I could sit here in my Zen den office and create all day long, funnels, courses, right? New strategies, happy camper. But we can't just live in creation mode. We have to go into action mode. And as that being my superpower, I get to share with you today. So I use a quarterly planning system called the North Star. I do this inside my Wellness CEO program. I do this with my private clients, and I do this for myself. If I don't do this, then I'm almost driving blindly. So we start with the 9 environments. This is a system that makes it so much simpler, and you can see the wheel here. But in this system, we create a direction based on assessment. So our assessment is basically where we're at right now. So I'm going to ask you, do this exercise. Where are you right now? In your health, in your home, in your body, your physical body, in your career, in your finances, and not necessarily just how much money you have, but like, do you have things in order for retirement? Do you have your papers organized, your taxes, your network, your friends, your relationships? Because all these things, once we assess and we go from a 1 to 10, very simple, right? I'm here, and you have this visual. Then I want you to say, well, what does level 10 look like for me? Right? What is my physical body at a level 10? What is my home at a level 10? Am I doubling the size of my home? Am I tearing down the insides and rebuilding? Like, we're going to redo our kitchen because my kitchen right now is at like a 5 and I want it to be a 10. So here's the fun part. How much money will it take to go from where you're at to where you want to go? So if I need to redo my kitchen, I'm looking at $10,000, $15,000 minimum, right? So I know that my business now needs to generate 15K to support my new kitchen. And we do this for every echelon of this circle. We look at and we quantify, because now we can project it out. So we work with the GAP system, right? Goals, actions, projects. And the GAP system makes the planning so much easier because we know exactly what we have to do. And we'll break it down into 90-day chunks. And if you check below, you'll see a link to my North Star planning. I do this quarterly, but I also have it recorded so you can do it on your own. And you can scan the QR code up here to get access to that course. Now, the whole basis of it, though, is really centered around the be, the do, and the have. And if you're here, you guys know I like trifectas, right? Who are we being? So who do you have to be in order to achieve that extra 15,000 in your business? That might be one client at 15K, right? Are you being proactive? Are you being organized? Are you being smarter with your time? Are you being less judgmental? Like, what are the qualities that you are embodying, that you are bringing into your inner space, that most sacred space? And what qualities are you willing to get rid of? Like, I'm willing to get rid of my judgy side. I judge myself constantly. I'm like mean girl to me. Like, I'm committed to getting rid of that aspect of me. And for those of you who maybe are aware of what's called the internal family systems, there's like pieces of you, right? Like family members inside of you who are just not supporting this journey. And today in my Instagram, I posted a picture of when I was a little girl, and I was like, you know what? She would be proud of me today. That little girl would be proud of me. But maybe there's a part of me, right? Like that judgy, maybe it's like a mom. I'm just learning about all this stuff. So for those of you who are more professionals, please give me grace, right? But there's that part of me that I really need to stop listening to, the guilt bringer, the judge, the stern, and give myself more grace, give myself a little bit more love. So as we navigate with the first pillar, which is being, right? Who are we being? What are the qualities that we're embodying? What are the things that we're bringing into our life that are going to just give us more energy, more light, so that we do. Now, the do tends to be where I love to play because I'm such an action taker. Apart from planner, I'm like a fire starter. And this doing is what is really going to make all the being have more purpose. And this essence of being in purpose, on purpose, with purpose, we are working, right? Diligently, daily, methodically, effectively, and efficiently towards our goals, which is the have. So let's spend a little bit of time in the do, because the do is where a lot of people get stuck. They get stuck in the how. You know, I have an amazing client, and she's like, I spent all day making this flyer. And I was like, why? Why did you spend all day making a flyer? Obviously, it didn't take her all day, but it probably took her a few hours, right? So I start asking as a good coach, I'm like, well, would it have been better? Like, let's say you had $15, right? That you were going to go spend on, I don't know, a smoothie. Maybe instead of buying that smoothie, could you save that $15 and task this out to somebody else, a graphic designer? Guys, Fiverr, you can find my link below. Fabulous. I use Fiverr all the time. I just hired somebody to redo my client's website with my direction. Because here's the thing about outsourcing, just FYI, I'm going to put side note, they're not strategists. They're doers. So you need to have a strategy. So my client who I'm working with privately, right, we're redoing her whole brand, her whole site. And I'm like, look, if you paid me to redo all this, it would be extremely expensive. Let's hire somebody on Fiverr with my strategic direction. So if you're doing, you need to look at your bottlenecks. You need to see where there's so much time being spent. There's so much time being wasted. There's so much time for things that are going to move the needle like half a centimeter. I much rather my clients spend the entire day writing out her webinar script and her pitch at the end, right? Her offer, than making a flyer. So here's where we start figuring out, right? Like who's in charge of what. And when you look at your project matrix, you start saying, well, here's all the things that I need to do. right? Or that need to be done. Let's remove the I from it. Here's all the things that need to be done. Who's in charge of this? Ari. Ari. Ari should not be here. Ari should not be here. Who are these people? Because here's the thing, in business, you're either increasing your learning and your skill on a certain subject. So let's say it's a Facebook ad. Well, if you're not doing it and you don't know about it, you'll either learn it, which will take longer, and that's okay. I love learning. Or you pay somebody who's an expert. So one's faster, the other one's more expensive. Same thing, right? We can look at the graphic design. You're not a graphic designer. So you're spending so much time being a graphic designer where that's actually a pretty low, and I say this with all my heart for you graphic designers, but because I am one too. One thing is like creating a brand for somebody. The other thing's creating a flyer, right? So low level graphic designer, that might be a $10 job that you can remove and take your name out of that place, because your name in the doing in the project matrix needs to be what moves needles forward, not what keeps your business stagnant. So in my North Star planning system, I talk through all this so that we can start being really clear on the things that we want to have. Like, I want a new car. I want a new kitchen, right? I want to take more trips. So how do I get there from now till all these things that we get to have, right? I want more massages. Who here doesn't want more massages? So I want you guys to really look at this opportunity of listening to this video, of being here to create your project matrix, to work with your 9 environments, and really be in a place where you're on purpose, right? You're purposely doing things. You're not just flying by the seat of your pants. You're strategically planning, but coming from a place of intuition. Because let me tell you, like, we can manifest all we want, right? We can do the vision boards. I love vision boards. I can even show you guys my last vision board. But the vision board will only stay a vision board unless we have the action, the fire. And I hope that this video today inspires you to take that next step, to take the fire and turn it up a notch, but do it in a way that is not going to burn you, because too much doing creates burnout, right? We deplete. We need to refill our cup. This is where, all our yogic values come in. We do our pranayama, we do our workouts, we eat well, we spend time in nature, because that's what's going to refill us. So I hope that you take this video today, you use it, maybe you share it with somebody, and make your North Star be your guiding light to where you want to go. I'll see you on the next one. Please subscribe and like, and always grateful for you.